Cindy, this way. Over here, come on. Here. Ha! Oh, come on! Quit fooling around. Here, I told you it was right here in Fells Point, and here it is. Miss Feldman's Vintage Clothing and Costume Shop.
Vintage? What does that mean?
Vintage means old, like antique, but these clothes, they're special. They're magic.
Steve, you're crazy. How could clothes be magic?
You'll see. Yes, sir, Mr. Coleman.
I've been on since the crack of dawn fixing these crabs for Miss Bellman.
Oh, she all the crabs by herself?
Mercy no child, she's gonna pick up and make the best crab cakes in Baltimore City. Yeah, Steve, you didn't introduce me to your little friend here.
She's not my friend. She's just a girl.
Hey, watch what you're saying. My name is Cynthia Bates O'Brien, and I'm
I meant she's just a girl in my class. We have an assignment to learn about Maryland history, and the teacher is making us do it together. So that I figured that since we're stuck with one another, I might as well bring her here to learn some stories.
Well, if the stories you want to hear, you come to the right place. See, I can tell you stories from the time of the Indians all the way up to present day. See, long before the Europeans came here to settle in the colonies of Maryland in 1634, Native Americans lived here, and they fished in the great shellfish bay they called the Chesapeake. Now, they were peaceable people who enjoyed this region because it was not too hot and not too cold. They had what we like to call the middle temperament. See, they like to get along and to go along with others. They were willing to compromise and share what they had with others.
Frederick Coleman, is that you I hear out there?
Oh, boy.
If you haven't grabbed me, you better not wait today away chit-chatting me here.
I'm coming, Miss Velma. I'm coming. I swear that woman can hear a flea sneeze on a running dog. I'm coming. I guess I better tell you guys my stories later when I get some time to myself. If I don't get these crabs to her in time, her blood gets a boiling hot.
I guess you wouldn't say she has a middle temperament. Huh?
Oh, mercy, no. She has what we like to call a fire temperament. See, me, I'm just the opposite. If she's fire, you know I'm smooth as ice.
Frederick Douglass Coleman, what kind of nonsense are you telling these children?
These children came to hear my stories. Yeah, about Maryland. Yeah, I was about to tell them about the Calverts and the Peggy Stewart and the flag flying over Fort McHenry and the escape of my great-great-grandfather, Frederick Douglass.
And Harriet Tubman and Frederick Marshall and Miss Claire Martin. Now, these children don't want to sit around and listen to your stories. They want to live it, as if it was happening to them. And the only way they can do that is with my costume.
Ha! You see? I told you they were magic.
And
Miss Velma, this is Cindy.
Cynthia?
Cindy?
it's a pleasure to meet you, Cynthia. Now, if these are really interested in learning about Maryland's history, then I think we should start back in the days with Maryland Bird.
No, I was just about to get to that.
Sure you were. Of course, we know that you have lived here for thousands of years. They were Native Americans called the Piscataway, the Algonquins, and the Susquehannocks.
I never did like the Susquehannocks. They were always causing trouble for everybody. They just couldn't live in peace, like me and her.
Frederick, why don't you get into these costumes and you just need to get into the boat.
Leave me alone.
Get into this costume. Get into the boat.
It's my story.
You play Leonard Calvert and Steve will be Father Andrew White.
Well, why did they have to get in the boat?
Because that's how the first Europeans came to Maryland. Leonard Calvert was the first governor of the colony of Maryland. He came here with Father Andrew White and some 200 other settlers way back in 1634 on two boats, one called the Ark and the other the Dove. You'll see.
Cynthia, you and I were looking at Piscataway that first night that they arrived one city, Plymouth on March 25th, 1634.
Well, I would love to be Indian princess.
And now you are. You'll play the daughter of the Taya, which is what the Piscataway calls an emperor. And I'll play your mother. Come, let us enter into our costumes. We will enter into the wigwam, which is what the Piscataway calls a house.
The Father White. We have reached the Potomac. See how it is filled with so many fish, we can scoop them out with a net. What should we call this little island that we have touched upon in the new colony?
It has been a long journey, Leonard. For 4 months we have sailed from England to the Caribbean and finally here to Maryland. Remember when we set sail on St. Clement's Day way back in November? Let us call this island St. Clement's Island.
St. Clement's it is then. Why, this site will make a lovely place for a fort to protect the colonies. And look at the immense trees, each as tall as a cathedral. That's remaining look. And there's enough room between them for a carriage with 4 horses.
Look, there are some Piscataway people. We should stop here, but first, let us pray.
Okay.
In nomine Patri, Filii, Spiritus Sancti, Amen. Glorious Father, we thank you for bringing us safely on this journey to a new world. Let us come in peace and friendship to these people. I have learned some words. I will try to speak to them.
Okay.
La Puelis.
La Puelis?
That means religion.
Oh, La Puelis.
Wigwam. Yes, wigwam means house. House.
Wigwam.
Oh, Leonard, give me the tool. This is, albatross.
No, it's...
No, this is albacore.
That's tuna.
No, that is tuna.
A budget chicken?
A bajajiggle.
A box of chicken?
A bajajiggle.
A box of chicken. Father, perhaps we can better show them our intentions with hand gestures.
We come in friendship, we hope to stay. Would you be kind, help us learn, we pray. We have no money or much to give, but both together we all could live.
We have a hunger to be set free. We don't want trouble or hurt.
We were not welcome across the sea. We come in peace here to share with thee. We come in friendship. Would you be kind, help us learn, we pray. We come in peace here to share with thee.
He will give you tools. Axe, hoes, knives, they will help you. We will also give you cloth and blanket.
They say we will eat at the same table, that our men will go hunt for you, and that we will have all things in common. They have given us this wigwam to be our new home.
Wigwam, our new home in Maryland. Thank you.
Thank you. So there you have it, Cynthia. That's how Maryland was founded. In peace and in friendship.
Well, did the Calverts stay?
Yes, they did.
And what happened?
Well, the Indians taught the Europeans how to fish and farm in their new land. And the Europeans taught the Indians all about religion and medicine. You see, Father Andrew White became really good friends with the emperor, the Taya, and the Mackenzie. And he tried to help the Mackenzie people when they became sick. This impressed the Taya, that he decided to become Catholic just like Father White. And then all of the Mackenzie people became Catholic.
Second, I thought there was a lot of fighting back then.
Oh, there was that too. You see, the Europeans helped the Piscataways with their enemies, the Susquehannocks to the north, and the Piscataways helped the colonies of Maryland in their struggles with the Virginians to the south. See, the people of Maryland were mostly Catholic, and the people of Virginia were mostly Protestant. There was lots of fighting going on between the Catholics and the Protestants. You know, the Catholics wrote the first laws in the country for religious tolerance.
Religious tolerance? What's that mean?
Well, see, that's when people who believe in different religions decide to stop fighting and to get along. You see, they tolerate each other.
So it's kind of like the Middle Temperament.
Very good, Cynthia. See, a middle temperament is a good temperament. Now, the Piscataway spoke the Algonquin language. Still lots of places with Algonquin names, you know.
That's right. The Indians named the rivers and lands after what they looked like and what they did. Cynthia, I have an idea. Why don't you say some of the Indian names? I will act them out.
Like Father White and the Princess.
Exactly.
Okay. Allegheny.
Beautiful stream.
Chesapeake.
Oh, great shellfish, maybe.
Oh, Mr. Hillman already told us that one. Oh, Chincoteague.
Oh, lifted up high.
Okay, my turn.
Okay, Choptank,
Flows in opposite direction.
Pocomo,
Broken ground.
Patapsco.
Rocky corner.
All right, it's my turn.
Winkamico.
I think you mean Waikamaco,
That's what I said.
which means pleasant people after the Indians that lived there. I have a better idea. Why don't we teach these guys some new words? Yeah. Cynthia and I have a song to sing for you, but we're going to need your help. I'm going to teach you the... I think Cynthia's a little shy.
Ain't shy.
Maybe she would like you to applaud for her. Maybe if we clap for her, we can get her to come back out here. It's worth a try. Come on, clap louder. It's working.
All right. I guess I'll sing, but only if everybody here will sing along with me nice and loud, okay?
Okay, you can do that. Repeat after me. Allegheny, Choptank.
Allegheny, Choptank.
Chesapeake, Pocomo.
Chesapeake, Pocomo.
Yee-ho, Waikamaco.
Oh, wait a minute, Steve, we didn't do that one. What's Yeo mean?
Yee-ho means beautiful.
Oh. Remind you of anybody?
Nope.
Fine. I'm going to teach you some hand gestures to go with the word Steve just taught you, okay? Everybody follow me. Allegheny, Choptank.
Allegheny,
Chesapeake, Pocomo.
Chesapeake, Pocomo.
Yee-ho.
Yee-ho,
Waikamaco.
Waikamaco.
Okay, it's time for the music now. Everybody, remember you're going to sing along nice and loud, okay?
Allegheny, Choptank, Chesapeake,
Pocomo.
Yee-ho, Waikamaco. Allegheny, Choptank, Chesapeake,
Pocomo.
Yee-ho,
Waikamaco.
Floating down the Chesapeake in my favorite skipjack, feel the boat go. Waikamaco, Allegheny, Choptank, Chesapeake, Pocomo. Yee-ho, Waikamaco, Allegheny, Choptank, Chesapeake, Pocomo. Yee-ho, Waikamaco, calling up the blue crabs with my net crab pot, feel the wind blow. Waikamaco, Allegheny, Choptank, Chesapeake, Pocomo. Yee-ho, Waikamaco, Allegheny, Choptank, Chesapeake, Pocomo. Yee-ho, Waikamaco. Word.
Okay, that was very fun, actually. Thank you.
That's because I always should try to have breakfast this morning.
Are you still suffering from that indigestion problem? Now, if you listen to Miss Bauman says take 1 cup of raspberry tea and coconut water at midnight. Then turn around 3 times and shout out loud, Jake, Jake, open the gate. And sure enough, those belly aches will pass. Go on now, Jake,
Look
Jake.
here, Miss Velma. I'm sorry, but I think I might die laughing.
Laughing at what?
That old wives' tale nonsense.
It ain't no wild tale if it works.
Yeah, well, maybe later. I gotta be getting my things away. I'll catch you in a little bit, children. Maybe later I get to tell you one of my stories.
Go home, Frederick.
Go.
I want to tell these children about a different case temperament. A hot temperament.
Whoa! Wow!
Look at that, Jimmy.
I dare say this Jimmy's 9 inches across.
What's a Jenny?
A Jimmy, it's a male crab. This one's big too. My father used to catch him like this.
Do you like crab cakes?
Oh, I sure do.
Then I'll have to give you my special recipe then.
That's a compliment. She usually only gives that to people she really likes.
Oh, it's okay. Some things part of the family now. Now, where will it go?
Oh, you were going to tell us about something hot. A hot temperament.
Very good. Now, after Europeans settled here in Maryland, they began to see themselves as a part of this new world. You see, they felt that England was too far away across the Atlantic, and they grew tired of paying taxes to England's government without getting a voice. See, this is what they call taxation without representation, and it was very unpopular. So, around about 1776, they declared themselves independent
And fought the Revolutionary War!
Thanks for that lovely illustration. But do you know about Peggy Stewart?
What?
Why, Peggy Stewart. You see, that's the ship Anthony Stewart named after his daughter Peggy, right before the Revolution began, when Maryland had its very own Tea Party to the shore. See, why don't you get ready to play 6 work of the observation tape? Okay. And when Frederick gets back, he can play our Captain Stewart.
Well, what did this observation committee do?
They made sure that no English goods made it into the colony.
And who are you going to be, Miss Velma?
Well, I'm Mrs. Carroll, head of the observation committee, one of the many roles of the Carroll family in Maryland.
Okay. And what do I get to do this time?
Oh, you get to be a boy!
A what?
A boy! It was 1774.
Hey!
Girls weren't allowed to say much back then.
I hardly think that's fair, Steve Harper. I'm the best speaker in our entire school.
Hey, it's history.
Oh, great.
And you all can play the crown on the pier, the most important role of all. Viola is right. Captain Stewart should not be shipping English goods, and we agreed to keep all goods made in England out for the colonies. Sometimes that man acts as if he's better than General Washington himself. Come, boy.
We must not tolerate English goods anymore. If we allow one boat to dock in Annapolis with illegal goods on board, they shall all try to do it.
Now, Citizen Warfield, it's not up to us to meddle in the matter. Mind your temperament. Not too cold, not too hot. We are really the observation committee which means that we watch and report.
But what we are asking for him to do is nothing more than what we haven't given up for ourselves. If we find English goods, we must act.
Finally, I've reached Annapolis. It has been a long journey from England. While if the colony finds out I have English goods aboard the Peggy Stewart, it will not go well for me. The people of Maryland consider themselves Americans now. Maybe if I hide the tea, they won't find out.
There's the traitor now. What have ye aboard, Anthony Stewart? The observation committee asks if you have any English goods.
I have my rights as a citizen of England, sir.
Is that right? Well, you are in Maryland now, and we will see to that.
You see, Captain Stewart, we have read the taxation report.
This tea comes from London,
Oh,
England, traitor.
Patsy.
Mr. Stewart, you agreed to keep all English teas out of the colonies.
Yeah, I know, but I paid good money for that tea.
No! You paid money for this tea, all right, and you also paid the tax on this tea that goes to the King of England to fight his wars. Tory, you will eat those words and this detestable tea.
He's a Tory. He's a traitor. Tory, 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 Tory.
We are a democratic society now, which means that we must put it to a vote. Yea, we destroy the tea, or nay, we do not.
May I speak?
No, she can't speak because she's a
Let
boy.
let the boy girl speak some tone. It's a revolutionary time.
What do you all have to say? You are Americans, and we Americans have refused to pay the tax imposed by the English. We've tried to be calm and talk with them, but the English have refused to listen.
Yeah,
We tried to maintain a middle temperament, and the English have struck back against us.
this one.
We must stand up for what is right as Americans and declare ourselves free of English tyranny. This man has defied us. I say
And I have done nothing wrong by English law. And last I checked, we were still an English colony.
Do you defy us, Tory? I say we destroy the tea and the ship. And then I say we hang the Tory.
Oh, your tyranny is as bad as England. You want to destroy the tea, my ship, and kill me as well? Mrs. Carroll, I appeal to you. You must find a middle way. Remember the middle temperament of Maryland.
He
I say
is a
destroy the
Tory,
ship
a
and
traitor
the
to
tea, and the Tory must
the
punish him
Union
as a
Square.
traitor.
And she
Enough! Citizens of Maryland, we believe in justice, not senseless bloodshed. This man has brazenly broken the law, and for that, the tea and the ship must be destroyed. But if he decides to destroy them both himself, then his life shall be spared. That is the compromise. That is the middle way of Maryland. What do you say, Andrew Stewart? Will you destroy the tea and the ship?
I see them standing on the dock, waiting to burn my ship. An act of angry men. This is a sad and fearful night that will go down in history.
The night we burned the Peggy Stewart was the night our Maryland rose up and said no more. We want our freedom, no more. We are not England's. We want a land that is our own. We don't want taxes. We don't want governors. We want to live in the colonies of home.
Night they heard the Peggy Stewart was the night that Maryland won and said no more. They want their freedom, no more. They don't want England, but to live in the colonies of home.
The night we burned the Peggy Stewart was the night our Maryland rose up and said no more. We want our freedom, no more. We are not England's. We want a land that is our own. We don't want taxes. We don't want governors. We want to live in the colonies of home.
Night they burned the Peggy Stewart was the night our Maryland grew up and said no more. Want our freedom, no more. We don't want England, but to live in the colonies of home. Night I burned the Peggy Stewart. Oh, the night I burned the Peggy Stewart. I'm sorry. Abandoned ship.
Thomas Selma, what happened to Anthony Stewart after that?
Well, he moved to Canada and remained loyal to England. But a country was founded during that time, the United States of America, and Maryland was right in the middle of it.
After the Revolutionary War, Cynthia, Britain remained in a long war with France. The United States joined that war as an ally of France in the year 1812. And that was the War of 1812. Right, Miss Selma?
That's right, Steve. So why don't you get ready to play the next character?
Oh, who's that going to be?
You'll see.
You see, Cynthia, we fought in the Turin Battle of the War of 1812 right here in Baltimore. Fort McKinley protected the Baltimore port from the English warships. And the American commander, Major Armstead, asked Mary Pickersgill to create an enormous flag filled with 15 stripes and 15 stars. This flag waved over Fort McKinley and inspired the troops to fight. Now, on the night of the battle, they sent out a young man to the Baltimore Harbor to speak to the English about the exchange of prisoners. Do you know his name?
His name was Francis Scott Key. And I'm going to play him next. Say, Cynthia, I'll need something to write with.
Why?
So many questions. You'll see, come on.
All right. It's my favorite pencil. Give it back.
You see, Key was a lawyer and an amateur poet. He had a way with words. Come, let us all watch as Key enters the Baltimore Harbor aboard the Tonic on that fateful night.
Strange things are going on. The English have agreed to release a prisoner they hold captive, Dr. Beans, but they have demanded that he remain on this ship until morning. There's something in the air. Something the British officers are not saying. It is all very mysterious. Ah! I see in the distance our own Fort McHenry. It is a comfort to me to see that flag waving so high. It reminds those English that we are not theirs, but ours. Can it be? The Brits, they're bombing the fort. No wonder they wouldn't let us off the ship we were aboard. Oh. Oh, what am I doing out here when I should be home defending the States? How will Baltimore and Fort McHenry withstand the English Armada? They are merciless. Our new America will be lost.
How long was he out there in the harbor?
All night. The bomb stopped all night. They stopped at dawn.
Do you see it? By the dawn's early light. What we hailed last night. At twilight. At the last gleam. Whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight remained over the ramparts, gallantly streaming. And the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave over the land of the free and the home of the great?
A few days later, these words were put to music, and a famous actor named Freddie Durant sang the song of Baltimore. It became our national anthem, and no more fitting words were ever written. Boys and girls, I have a surprise for you today, all the way from Baltimore City. Please welcome Mr. Frederick Durant. Please rise. grew between the North and the South. In the North, there was a movement to abolish slavery, but in the South, they wanted to protect their rights to own slaves. You see, the South supported states' rights, but the North supported a stronger union. They tried to compromise in Congress, but the struggle continued, all throughout the 1820s, 30s, 40s, and the 1850s.
But what side was Maryland on?
That's a good question. You see, Maryland was caught in between. Some of us believe that we were Northern, and some of us believe that we were Southern. Maryland housed the largest population of free blacks in the country, but it also tolerated slavery. Now, we've said it before, so I'll say it again. Maryland has a middle temperament.
So then, we fought the Civil War, right, Mr.
Not so fast there, Stevie, my boy.
Oh.
It's not all about war, you know. See, a lot happened in Maryland between the War of 1812 and the Civil War. Well, on the 4th of July, 1828, Charles Carroll, one of the signers of the Declaration of Independence, broke ground in Maryland for the first major railroad in the country. It was called the Baltimore and Ohio Railroad, or the B&O for short. It was the dynamo that made Baltimore one of the fastest growing cities in the country in the 1830s. While people poured in from all over, Germans and Irish, then the Poles, the Lithuanians, and the Italians. You know, Jews set up their first synagogues on Lloyd Street. It was a time of great growth and prosperity, but it was also a time of great struggle and fear.
I suppose you want to talk now about the great ancestor.
Oh, I don't know. Only if they want to hear. I mean, I wouldn't want to bore them or anything.
Oh, I can tell you're dying to tell them.
All right. See, it all started right here in Fells Point. My great-great-grandfather, Frederick Douglass, was a slave owned by Mr. All. And he was just a boy at the time and was supposed to work for Mr. All's children. But as he grew, they began to rent him out to people who needed work done down on the docks. Now, he also learned how to read and write, which became very valuable. You see, in those days, people who were free blacks had to walk with papers saying that they were free. So Douglass wrote papers for them saying that they were free. That way, they could hop aboard one of them fancy new trains and escape up north to freedom.
So then why don't you set up the trains for us?
Now, in 1838, Douglass got a hold of some free papers from his family. Only these papers described a man who didn't quite look like Douglass. He was afraid that he might be discovered, so he left his wife behind. He put on a sailor's uniform, a red shirt, and a black cravat, and he headed on down to President Street Station, and he boarded a train headed to Havre de Grace.
I'm going to need to see your papers, miss. You do have free papers, do you not?
Yes, sir.
5'8", check. Medium dark, check. Okay, here are your papers. Now you boy, where are your papers?
Right here, sir.
And what about me, sir? Do you need to see mine?
What's that? Why, no, miss. I don't need to see your papers. But you will have to move one car forward. You see, this is the Negro car on this train.
Oh, I see, sir. I didn't realize that.
Not at all, miss. Not at all. Here, allow me to show you to a seat.
Why, thank you.
Right this way, miss. Right this way. Here, boy, here are your papers. Follow me.
Is that it? Am I free?
Hush, don't make a scene.
A new world has opened up to me. Anguish and grief like darkness and rain may be depicted, but joy and gladness like the rainbow defy the skill of pen or pencil.
You happy?
Yes, I'm happy.
Good. Now be quiet and don't make a scene.
Yes, ma'am.
This train is heading north. Next up, Havre de Grace. That's it. That's how he became free.
Yep. The conductor barely looked at my great-great-grandfather's papers. Some say that he was lucky. Others say it was providence. Either way, he was free.
When he left Maryland, he left his wife behind.
But she joined them 2 weeks later in New York City. And you know, Douglass went about lecturing on the need for the abolition of slavery. And there were many people who came after him. For instance, Harriet Tubman, a woman from Cambridge, Maryland, who was born into slavery. Why, if I didn't know any better, I'd say you were her myself, Miss Velma. We'll all be a part of her story.
The stars look lovely tonight. Right up there is what the English call a cloud. But Mama said that in Africa, we call it the drinking board, or the Big Dipper. You see, those stars sure are bright, and they point to the North Star. And one day, I'm going to follow the North Star all the way to the Promised Land, and nobody's going to stop me. What's wrong?
Oh, Harriet, Mr. Eliza's trying to sell all my children.
Oh, Mama.
You know, ever since the master died, she's been desperate for money. At first she tried to sell your sister Cassandra, but the court wouldn't let her. So now she's trying to sell you and all your brothers. Oh, Lord, what will happen if my children are sold?
Then we'll just have to run away, Mama.
Oh, no, Harriet, you can't leave me. I'll find you and meet you.
You're not going to catch me, Mama. I know these woods, and I know the stars. I'll come back to get you, Mama, I promise. Goodbye now. Follow the drinking board. Follow the drinking board. This is already, Mama. The old man is waiting to carry you to freedom. Follow the drinking board.
Harriet set out that night on September of 1849 with her two brothers, Ben and Harry. Unfortunately, they disagreed over directions, and Ben feared for his wife and newborn child, so they returned. Harriet was not at all pleased with this. She decided to try again in October of that year. This time she went alone. Now she most likely began her journey from the house where her father, Ben Ross, lived as a freedman. He lived in Caroline County next to the Choptank River, and he worked for Dr. Thompson. While she was leaving, who do you think she ran into at the gate of the estates?
Evening, Dr. Thompson.
Good evening, Minty.
That was Harriet's nickname. And then she did the most amazing thing. From the deepest part of her soul, she began to sing.
I'm sorry I'm not with you. Farewell, oh, farewell. But I'll meet you in the morning. Farewell, oh, farewell. I'll meet you in the morning. I'm at the promised land on the other side of Jordan. I'm at the promised land.
Harriet then moved on to a settlement of Quakers. Now these were people who were opposed to slavery. This most likely was her first stop on the Underground Railroad.
Is this the Leverton's farm?
Why, yes, tis.
Mrs. Leverton, my name is Harriet Tubman, and I need your help. You see, I just ran away from my mistress. She was going to sell me.
Oh, I understand. We can help you. My husband is out in the fields now, but wait here, and when he returns, he can ride in his wagon and go farther north.
Thank you. I'm very grateful to you. Here, let me sweep this walkway. That way it appears that I'm working for you. That way no one gets suspicious.
Oh, good idea, Harriet.
A few hours passed, and finally, Mr. Leverton returned home.
Ah, I see we have a visitor. Tell me, Hannah, who is this?
Why, this is Harriet.
Huh?
She needs to ride in our wagon under the hay where no one can see her.
Huh?
She's running away to the promised land.
Oh, I see. Come along then, Harriet.
Thank you, Mrs. Leverton.
Goodbye. And remember, never give up.
Never give up.
I can take thee as far as the border with Delaware. From there, follow the stars north to the Promised Land. Now, the Underground Railroad doesn't have any train tracks or anything like that, but it does have conductors, and it does have station masters. There are people that can help you every step of the way.
They rode in Mr. Leverton's wagon all night. Then he left it. Harriet walked through the forest and woods and stayed away from the roadside so that no one would see her. We don't know who exactly she met along the way. The Underground Railroad was a very big secret.
and warn you. I know that's dangerous, but I believe that there are only two things that are mine: liberty and death. If I can't have the first, liberty, then I'm glad they accept the second, death.
Wow, that is very brave of you. But I don't think you understand that as a reward after you capture $300. That's a lot of money to most people around here. You must be very, very careful.
I will. Goodbye now.
Goodbye. May God be with you.
That's it. I know that. Steal away. Steal away. Steal away to Jesus. Steal away. Steal away. Oh, I ain't got long to stay here.
Harriet traveled until she reached the borders of Delaware and Pennsylvania. Delaware was a slave state, but Pennsylvania was free. Suddenly, a tremendous feeling overwhelmed her.
My aunt. These hands have been worked for full slave masters and now they're free. It's hard to believe that I am the same person. I look at the sky and I see such a glory over everything. The sun shines through the trees and over the fields like gold. And I feel like I'm in heaven. Free at last. Free at last. Great God Almighty, I'm free at last.
You know, Cynthia, Harriet Tubman returned to Maryland over 20 times to bring new people north to the Promised Land. She brought her parents, her brothers, her sisters, and many more. There may have been 300 people she brought on the Underground Railroad.
Is there anyone out there who'd like to accompany me on the Underground Railroad? You there, are you brave enough? You may come. And you there, do you want to sit to freedom? You may come as well. Let's see, one more, let's get one more. Yeah, you may come. Now the rest, all right, let's get one more. You come. Now the rest of you guys can participate from your seats. But, the rest of you guys can participate from your seats. Now the way that I'm going to take you is going to be the same path that led me to freedom, okay? Now the way is hard, but once we reach the north, we're free. Come, follow me. There are slave catchers everywhere. So if they catch us, that means the whip is for you and my dad. So we must be very, very careful. See that farm over here? Fine, I know we're going to Mr. Levinson, okay? Mr. Levinson!
Huh? Oh! Harry! I never thought I'd see you again.
I had to come back, Mr. Levinson. I had to bring more people to the Promised Land.
Huh?
That's what I was called to do.
Oh! I believe you. Come, I may have food and drink for you. Here, I noticed in here something. What was that?
Children, we have to hide.
Hit behind you.
Children, I think we better leave before anyone else comes.
God be with you. Remember, never give up.
Let's repeat that. Never give up.
Never give up.
Let's repeat that. Never give up. Never give up. Really loud this time. Never give up. Are you guys ready to walk forward? Now, our next stop is a farm along the train track on our way to Philadelphia.
Who's there?
It's I, Harriet Tubman. We're tired and cold. We've rested in your barn a while.
Yes, of course. You have a few hours until my home. Rest here until you have to go on again.
Thank you. Now rest up.
Your courage is such an inspiration to us all, Miss Allen.
Without people like you as station masters, then we would never make it.
I love children.
Okay, it's time to walk some more. You guys ready? Now, our last stop, we're gonna go this way. We'll walk and walk through Delaware. Until we reach Pennsylvania. And now, you all are free. Repeat after me. Free at last. Free at last. Great God, my young. Free at last. Great God, my young. Free at last. That's good. You guys understand this. Now let's repeat this new song that we learned. Repeat after me. Free at last. Free at last. Free at last. Free at last. Great God, my young. Free at last. Great God, my young. Free at last. One more time. Free at last. Free at last. Free at last. Free at last. Great God, my young. Free at last. Great God, my young. Free at last. Good job. Thanks for joining me on the Underground Railroad.
What happened to those slaves after that, Mr. Hellman? I mean, they weren't just set free, were they?
Oh, mercy no, child. The Civil War came first.
Oh, yeah? Well, were there any women who got to fight that war?
There
Well-
she goes, asking questions again.
Usher, there were women there, but they had to be there secretly, you know.
Girls were not allowed to fight that day. Ow! Whoa!
You know, that's it, Steve. I have, some women tended to the wounded. Now, Cynthia, perhaps you'd be interested in learning about the hero of the battlefield. It's Clara Barton. She was an angel in the Civil War.
Yeah? Did she get to pick up a gun and fight with all the men?
No, she didn't do any of that. But she gave soldiers bad needed supplies, like bandages, medicine, and clothing. She wrote letters to their loved ones, and she tended to the injured.
Yeah, is that all?
Ha! Woman doesn't belong in war anyway.
You know what, Steve? Maybe she was braver than the soldiers. I mean, war is a terrible thing. Would you be willing to pass through battlefields with bullets whizzing by your head, with love gun in your hand, and nothing at all to protect you, Steve? Huh? Huh? Huh?
Scared.
Sure you would. But not Miss Clara Barton. You see, Miss Clara Barton went out to the battlefield where the men left.
Can I play heroin this time? I want to wear that big hoop skirt that we have.
Sure you can. Here, let me get you a bag for your medicine.
Don't forget the warm socks.
Warm socks? What are those for?
Oh, you'll see.
I'll be a Union soldier.
I better join you, you scaredy cat. Come on, we got uniforms and stuff.
You have guns?
Look, we have things that look like guns. That'll be enough for now.
At the outbreak of the Civil War, Miss Clara Barton resigned from her job at the patent office to work as a volunteer. She got government permission to follow the soldiers in any direction possible. But the battlefield was where she was needed the most.
What battle are we in, Mr. Hillman?
Well, let's see. It was the bloodiest day of the war, fought right here in Maryland. Do you know where that was?
I think I know what it was. It was called the Battle of Antietam, and it was fought near Frederick. It was named after the creek that ran through it, the battlefield.
Very good, son. Now you better get down. You can get your head blown off standing there like
All right, now it's time to fight. Oh!
I told you, boy.
Oh! I can't believe it. I haven't even gotten a shot off, but already. I'm wounded. Help! Help
Oh,
me!
pipe down, soldier. Ain't nobody out here. You're just one in thousands.
Oh, I'm getting dizzy, sir. I can't see. Somebody's got to help me.
I'm coming for you, soldier. Where have you been hit?
Right in my arm, miss. Here, I'll show you. Yeah. Oh, no. It's in my chest. It's in my chest. Help me, miss. You got it. It's bad.
Here, these percussions will stop the bleeding. I've run out of bandages.
Don't leave me, miss. I can't see and I'm cold.
Here, let's put these warm socks on your hands. That will keep you getting cold.
Went to battle, when did you break? Why did they go to battle and join the bloody fray? What
even know his name. What's this? A letter to his sweetheart. And it's unfinished. I will take it and write to her and tell her of his death.
Clara Barton was one good thing to come out of that war. And she didn't just stop there. She realized the need for service would go on whether there was war or no war. So she started the American Red Cross.
Wow, that's huge.
Yeah, not too bad for someone who's just a girl, huh?
Oh, you think you know so much, Miss Cynthia
Oh,
Baines
well,
O'Brien.
I do have higher grades than you. And I will be my own.
Okay, right, that's
enough,
it. I'm
you
just
two.
reading it, you know.
Steve! Do that. Now we must remember that we are in Maryland, and in Maryland we like to keep a middle temperament.
Yeah, why don't you two kiss and make up?
Oh, gross. I'd rather kiss a pig.
I'd rather kiss a gorilla.
Gorillas are cooler than pigs.
Okay, Steve, Cynthia, why don't you guys just shake hands?
All right.
Yes, I will.
Ugh.
Well, at least they chose a kind of middle temperament. So, did you two learn anything today?
Oh, I remember the Indians and the colonists tried to get along with the middle temperament.
Yeah, just like the Protestants and the Catholics in the beginning.
And then we became a new state and a free country.
The United States of America, with Maryland right in the middle, between northern cold and southern hot.
And America's very own special song was written right here in Maryland.
And my great-great-grandfather, Frederick Douglass, escaped to freedom right here in Fells Point.
And Harriet Tubman escaped to freedom and took a whole lot of folks with her.
Then Maryland was torn in two by the Civil War.
Oh, but right here in Maryland, Clara Barton helped the soldiers.
And started the American Red Cross. Say, did I tell you guys about the great Thurgood Marshall, who broke the chains of segregation by pleading the case of Brown versus Board of Education, and he was the first African-American on the Supreme Court?
And was he from Maryland too?
Yes, right here in Baltimore.
Steve, that's
My
right,
grandmother,
but
she
you're
made
another
me this
time,
cake.
Frederick.
It was a fruit cake.
Frederick. Now, look, we're already out of time. So, before we say goodbye, why don't we sing one last song?
Thank you. We are the Children's Theater Association. You've just watched our production of Maryland, My Maryland. My name is Robert.
My name is Lisa.
And I'm Monique.
I'm Maul.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for coming.
Thank you. 'Twas a great stroke of luck to have found you. Why, I couldn't be happier if I found a leprechaun.
Leprechaun? What is that?
Why, leprechauns are the wee fairies that live alone in the fields in County Mayo, where I come from. Their name means one shoemaker, and wherever you find them, they're sure to be working on a shoe. Tip, tap, rip, rap, tick-a-tack-too. Scarlet leather sewn together, that'll make a shoe. That's the way they sing as they work. It said they work all the time and they collect great fortunes which they hide in pots under rocks and all around.